So nobody was gonna say they couldn't hear me at all. Can y'all hear me? And excuse me on this, but I gotta see if someone come up here. I can't believe that 30 minutes just went by on that last live stream. I don't know how my audio setting got turned off, but no one said during that whole 30 minutes, we can't hear you talking. They thought I was just sitting up here playing the game. Hey, whoever that is that just came in here, can you hear me speaking? Tell me if you can hear me speaking or not. Can you hear me talking? Whoever just came in, can you hear me talking? Since that other person not gonna type and say anything, can you hear me talking? Okay, well, I don't understand why the first person didn't say something. That be letting me know sometimes I think that other person is like another blogger that don't be saying nothing, that be coming disliking all my videos. You know what I mean? But I can't believe I just did 30 minutes and no one inside of my last live stream said they couldn't hear me talking. That's crazy. But let me just go ahead and this video not even gonna be that long. Let me go ahead and say this and get this over with. I rock with Pusha T. I want him to win this battle. I don't want the situation to happen with Pusha T to happen with Meek Mill. Pusha T is super lyrical. He's still talented. He got that. He got to go back to that inner exodus. And this kind of explaining of the last video that I put up. You know what I mean? That basically saying that Drake got the women behind him. He got the internet behind him. He got this type of fan base since he's popping all that stuff, where people look at Drake like he can do no wrong. You know what I mean? So with that, with the machine that he got behind him, Pusha T got to definitely come hard, period. Hell yeah, I'm mad as hell. I don't understand how no one that whole time just didn't say, Doc, we couldn't hear you. I seen one person say, oh, so we just got to sit here and watch Doc play the video game. But no one said, like, is he talking? We can't hear him, no nothing. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. But long story short, that's basically all I wanted to say about that whole Pusha T situation, because a lot of people got my video misconstrued. Someone asked, left a comment like, damn, has Doc been bought? You know, are you siding with Drake? Like, the comprehension skills, I know everybody don't always get it, but I don't understand. Like, my thing is, Pusha T been poking at this situation for a minute. He got this song now right after his album came out, and my thing is, since Drake, regardless if people don't like Drake or if they hate Drake or whatever the case may be, they gotta understand with him, his machine and everybody, people smart. Now when you say Drake don't write his own shit, why do we have to respond? That's the same. If he don't write his own shit, what was the purpose of even poking at him for over 5, 6, 7 years then? To get him to respond and then don't say nothing? That, to me, that would make no sense. I would assume in Pusha T mind that this is what he wanted. We know Drake don't write his stuff, but that ain't the end all answer, like, of the blood of Jesus for everything that he don't write. I can't honestly say I don't know what songs he write and don't write. Don't nobody know what songs he write and don't write, period. But I would assume as a rapper, if you been poking and throwing jabs and talking about a situation for years and years and years, and then someone respond, I would assume that that's what you wanted to happen. You wanted somebody to finally respond to you, especially he doing it on his album. People not just putting these songs on their albums for no reason. You know what I mean? That could have, if that was the case, he could have just been, he took a break for how many years? He could have just threw out a song in between that time talking that shit. He purposely put it on his album not only to get his message across, to talk his shit, and hopefully get some traffic and stuff off of it. But see, like my last live stream, that's what made me think people must could have heard me, because in the last live stream people was talking about, oh, you know, someone said like, oh, Drake clowning that boy or something like that, or Pusha T clown, one of the two. I don't get caught up in rap battles. I don't get caught up in all the who putting out the best memes, who invoice what, all that stuff, because to me that has nothing to do with the actual hip-hop talent. That don't have anything to do with the bars. That don't have anything to do with the battle in my eyes. Now I know in 2018 a lot of stuff have changed, where people care more about the tweets and 140 characters and everything else people is doing, putting wigs on people, more than the bars. Just like nowadays people don't, that's what I said in my last video, For some reason, we live in an era now where people don't care if you write your own bars or not, and they still will consider you in the top 5. Like I said in that video, I can't put Drake in my top 5 or consider him to be up there because he's known now for not writing his own stuff. So my thing is, but in Pusha T's response, regardless if he come back within 24 or 48 hours, if he wait 3 months or whatever the case may be, it need to be on that Exodus type level. He can't come half-ass, because regardless if Drake don't write his own stuff, we live in an era now where people don't even care. I don't know to say if no one writes 100% of their own stuff. So let me ask you this. So as far as J. Cole, he said like what you really just never really 100% know, but J. Cole said he don't like being in the studio with people. He don't like larger groups of people in the studio. He produces, writes, he produces, arranges, do all that stuff himself. Who else is lending J. Cole his bars? You know what I mean? Maybe for, I can't just say that, you may get assistance, people may just say this and that, but it's a total difference between people putting out reference tracks and you just repeating what someone else already put together. See, people be trying to, not you, but some people be purposely trying to blur the lines of ghostwriting and just assistance. Or someone say, hey man, no, you shouldn't put the word but right there, you should just take it out and do this. That ain't ghostwriting. That ain't even too much, that ain't even really nothing. Yeah, people get assistance, but a full reference track or people putting down full bars or full 16s and everything for you, that takes away from your talent. You can't go, you ain't gonna drop your car off. You ain't gonna drop your car off and pay someone to work on your car and someone else did it and they getting someone else getting the credit for it. No, like people that's putting in that work should get the credit for it. But my thing is, I understand that it's a full hustle in the ghostwriting game. You got some people that may not have the star appeal. You know what I mean? Because you got some people out here, say for instance, old boy that just said that, what's dude name, the big dude name that used to be with Dej Loaf. I can't think of his name right now. He from Joy Road. But he could spit, he be picking crazy beats and all that stuff. But I don't know, maybe he just don't have the star power. Maybe he don't have the look that people want to see to blow up in the game. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people just fall back and be like, hey, since they got the connections with people in the industry, start selling off their songs and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah. And they say this type of stuff been going on for a minute, but I don't think it's been in abundance. Because hell yeah, if tomorrow, if we find out that it was whole reference tracks or whole songs for like Nas, Biggie, Jay, Ghostface, and whoever else back in the day, you know what I mean, people was ghostwriting for them, yeah, you would be disappointed because this supposed to have been a standard that was put into hip-hop. My thing is, sometimes I think people misconstrue being a fan and me having a platform, because regardless if I rock with Pusha T 10 times more, I listen to Pusha T music, I relate to his music, and I don't listen to Drake music, I couldn't just say yesterday, I couldn't just totally discredit the song that Drake put out. Now you got some people that's like that because they don't like Drake maybe as a human being, but they don't personally know him, so they don't like him as a human being. They don't like his song, they may feel like he sing too much, this and that. They may still discredit that song, and that's the only time of the year I even hear from Drake is when, if he's in beef with somebody, period. That's the only time I ever hear his music. I don't listen to his music. I respect any man come up to be able to take care of their family and do what they got to do and opening up businesses, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't never knock nobody for that part. But as far as just on the hip hop side of thing, because someone left a comment, I don't know if it was this video or not, when someone said they hate to see the two rappers that they like going at it. Like, that's always been a part of hip hop. It's always been competitive. It's always been like that. And my thing is, Pusha T been poking at this for a minute. Apparently this response is what he wanted, and I'm just hoping that he is, prepared and got more than one song waiting. He got to have more than one song waiting. You've seen the strategic thing that Drake did last time with old boy. I don't want that same situation to happen to Pusha T. Because if it happens, and that would just show like old boy just the golden child where he can't do no wrong, he can't take no L in the rap game, and we know Pusha T is way too good for that. He's way too talented and good for that. I don't know if he should have, you know what I mean? I want to ask y'all, how was y'all feeling the production on Pusha T album? Of course the lyrics was there, but I want to ask y'all how y'all was feeling the production on there. You think you was rocking with Kanye doing all 7 tracks and how they sounded? Period. Like you said, hey, and above and beyond, hey bro, you was just in that last live stream that the game was playing. Why at no point in time did anybody say we couldn't hear you talking? I sat up there and was talking for 20 something minutes, and it was, I don't know how the setting on my PlayStation got turned off, but y'all couldn't hear me. When I went back to go play it, I just didn't hear myself talking at all. But yeah, Pusha just gotta have an Exodus 2 type song to go ahead, because that's what I'm saying. And nowadays, see, it used to be different back in the day. It used to just be bar for bar, opponent against opponent. Even though I don't like some of the new stuff that's going on in the rap game nowadays, you do gotta take all that stuff into consideration. And you got the machine behind Drake. He got his fan base. He's of the pop crowd. You know, old boy got the streets heavy. Pusha T got the streets heavy. He lyrically, you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't knock him for all that. But when you start sparring against someone that has like the internet on their side, you definitely got to come hard. And not to say who really cares, but I don't want that type of mockery where next week now you seeing Pusha T on memes and all that other stuff, because that dilutes it and it makes it seem as if, you know what I mean, I don't like all that. So he got to come hard. He got to have more than one song prepared. He got to come hard. And he got to be strategic enough to still try to send traffic back to his album and merch and all that stuff, so he could definitely benefit from it, because Drake got an album on the way. So he definitely happy that someone is fucking with him right now, because this is giving him the opportunity to keep some traction going and lead up until whenever his album come out. They got a whole group and a whole team, not only writing songs, they got a whole group and a whole team of people masterminding every strategic move. Ain't nothing done just being done. It's not, you know what I mean? And that's how you gotta move, period. Yeah, Drake stuff came the very next day, and that was a conversation I was having, shout out Low TV, but that was a conversation I was having with somebody, you know, because up until, like, I was having a conversation with my homeboy in Oklahoma, shout out to my homeboy C. You know, it's a way where he used to be able to get albums like a couple weeks before they came out. Like any and every album that came out, period, he used to be able to get them 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month early, depending on when that artist turned it in and all that stuff. But they've been tightening up on it a little bit. So with that being said, as a regular citizen, if we were able to get music early before stuff come out, who's to say what artists can get your music before it come out? Because Pusha T did send that music to DJ Envy, See the God, and ain't no telling who else he let hear the song. Or maybe when he put out those clips on Instagram, or people was recording up in the listening party and put it out, did Drake run across it and hear it and made a song that quick to be able to drop something on him? So, you know, by him doing that, you know, I gotta give it to Drake. Like, he ain't scared, he ain't backing down from anybody. You know, I ain't gonna say anybody, it is some people he felt like, I guess, didn't deserve a response or whatever. But he did what he did with Pusha T. I got him, salute him on that. Like my homeboy from St. Louis, you know, shout out to him, was saying yesterday, sometimes people just gotta give credit when it's due. That don't mean that I'm gonna start buying Drake albums and all this and that, but I can't call the response that Drake put out yesterday whack. Period. And if someone just calls it totally trash or whack, that just lets me know they gotta have a bias. And even though I rock with Pusha T, I prefer his music, been listening to him way longer, and also on top of that want him to win this battle, I still can't call the song that Drake put out yesterday whack. I can't do it. Who got under whose skin? I don't know who got up under whose skin, and I don't even be looking at that type of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't be looking at who got up under whose skin. Is old boy big mad or small mad? I don't view the world in the rap game like that. I don't know, maybe those are elements now that matter in hip hop towards the beef and all that, but, and it's no disrespect, but that's just stuff I don't take into account when I'm looking at who won a battle or who winning or whatever the case may be. Because Pusha T apparently wanted this response, and that's why I'm saying he better just be prepared for it. From every angle, he got to be a strategic plan. He can't just drop one song. He got to have a couple. My thing is, if you knew your album was coming and you was going to do this and it was going to be a possibility that Drake was going to respond or maybe someone else was going to respond or this was going to stir up some stuff, I would hope by now, after people seeing what happened to Meek Mill, that people are just prepared. And it's sad because, yeah, you know what I mean, when people look at Drake, they look at him as, oh, he just a singing nigga. He just a singing nigga. But you can see what can happen by just messing with the quote-unquote singing nigga. You know what I mean? So you got to be prepared. Facts, Nicole. You said he wanted the response. Because someone earlier said Drake don't write his own stuff, so Pusha T have to respond. Yeah. I know Meek Mill is no Pusha T. We obviously know that. I'm just saying, if we look at what happened with Meek Mill, regardless if Meek responded 24, 48 hours or 3 months later, I just want to put this out there. Anything I say, I don't care what I'm talking about. I always look at things from a business perspective strategically. Even though we talking about rapping and bars and all that stuff, I'm still looking at stuff from a business perspective, not as a fan, not as a groupie, not who I like the most or none of that. Of course, Meek is no Pusha T. Pusha T lyrical ability is way better than Meek Mill. Even though I do rock with Meek, but I prefer Meek. I prefer Pusha T over him. When I say I don't want the same thing to happen to him, it should be damn near obvious. You had the memes going, you had the whole internet, you got what's his name? Drake got the females, the internet, he got iHeart, he got Apple Music, you got DJs, everybody that's on this in his pocket eating off his machine. They don't want that. They don't want him as a variable at the top of the food chain to fall, or a lot of people gonna stop eating. So he got a lot of working components up under him that's pushing Drake to the position that he's at. That's pure business. People talk about this is the music business. Music is 30, 40%, 60, 70% is the business. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, he's not Meek Mill, but we got to understand, that's when I say you got to be prepared to go up against Drake, because it ain't just you going up against Drake. You going up against a lot of shit. No, I won't kill Pusha T, and ain't nobody. I don't know if you responding to me. Oh, I don't know what you talking about. Yes, we're talking music, of course. What else the hell are we talking about? We talking music. If that's the case, you know, this is the thing, and nothing that and this is why I talk about comprehension skills, because I said 100 times, I want Pusha T to win. I hope he win. Then you give one simple small example that allows someone's brain to tick and go off the edge on some other shit, like you talking bad about somebody. Please stop it, bro. Yeah, you repeating the same thing I said. I said just less than 3 minutes ago, I don't take memes and all that. I personally don't. But we live in the era now, just like me and you may say we don't care about, you know, we care about people that got ghostwriters. We live in a world right now where people don't care about it. Who was to say Drake whole song he put out the other day could have been ghostwritten? Who knows? We living in a whole nother era. I can go to sleep at night. I can go to sleep at night and in my mind say, hey, such and such won. But will that be my opinion? Is that the perception of what's going to be overcasted to the world when it's all said and done, because there's so many other working components now that go into Beast? Who knows what's going to happen? I hope old boy don't try to drop no back-to-back and no bounce and all that shit. I wasn't really feeling the back-to-back. I seen people that was talking about back-to-back was top 5, top 10 of all diss records, you know what I'm saying? Like I seen someone say yesterday, what they say, that the song that Drake put out was no Vaseline level. This is just showing you that we live in a totally different day now of how people view things. People from my era, my age, from my environment, it's like almost in hip-hop, our opinion don't even fully matter 100%. The kids and the internet is running the game. And of course, you said it was nominated as a Grammy. All that stuff play a part in today's how people view who won and who lost. Yeah, I'm talking about we can, you know, if you want to break it down to his nationality, his race, and everything else, you know, he in position. He's in position, and that's why I say Pusha T needs to come with some Exodus times. You know, he gotta get back in that Exodus mode, because once again, I'm gonna repeat it again, because I want him to win. I want him to win. And I don't want no fool to be made out of him. You know what I'm saying? Period. I don't want no fool to be made out of him. You know, Pusha T is one of the artists, I feel like, until he decide to stop rapping and all that stuff, his name, his legacy, and everything that what they brought to the game and what he represents, I don't want it to get scarred up and have no flaw. It ain't gonna make or break him and stop him from doing. He always bounce back. You can see he got the type of personality. He not gonna let nothing shake him. He done been through worse stuff in real life, with the Fed sweep and everybody around him going to jail. Yeah, but when I look at all the components of how the music business works in 2018, Pusha T, he got to come back with that shit. He got to come back with that shit. And then we got to keep on top, like, cause some people in my last video, I had an idiot ask me. He's like, "What, you siding with Drake?" One, I'm just not a fan. As a platform, I'm not a fan. I'm not the type of person, say for instance, Michael Jordan is my favorite basketball player. If he go do something dumb as hell, I'm not just gonna be on his side just because he's on his side. And you know what, in Trill City, this is where we got to I don't know your age and all that stuff, but you know it's fine to disagree. You can have your own opinion. That's why this title, debate, or whatever, you know, debate, discussion, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, unless you want unless you want Drake to win, or saying Drake winning, we basically saying the same thing, just two totally different ways. I'm just talking about the things that Pusha T need to be aware of going into the situation to win, or to make sure that he wins. You know, because the thing about it, say for instance, if Pusha T drop a song tonight and the only thing that song is talking about is just his ghostwriters, do you think that's gonna be? You think that's just, you don't even know how old I am to say that. Unless you was born before 81, period. It don't really matter. I'm talking about your perspective towards stuff when I ask about your age, and you don't even know how old I am. And definitely age don't have nothing to do with comprehension skills, because this whole time I've said multiple times I prefer Pusha T. I want him to win, and I don't want him to get caught up in this internet frenzy, because the internet and all that stuff plays a part. No, I'm not 31, nigga. I was born in 81. Fuck. And that's the problem. You thought, and I've never really said my age, so I don't even know why you would be assuming how old I am. But anyway, the music business play a big part, and it's a lot of stuff that go along with the music business, and that's all I'm saying, that Drake has a powerful machine behind him. That's what plays a part in him even having sustained a lot of the problems that he went through or goes through, and still be able to be looked at as a golden boy because of the machine in the business that's going on with Apple Music and everything else. Unfortunately, back in the day in the rap game, it was just about two men going at it, and that was it. After that, now in 2018, you got a lot more components that I don't feel is necessary that should be included in rap battles, but that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that's my whole thing. I want Pusha T to do his damn thing. I want him to come hard, hold it down for the type of hip-hop that he represent, not the non-mumble rap, holding it down for the streets, you know what I'm saying, to keep doing this thing. The only thing I'm saying, I feel like, see, this is the thing, say for instance, like, if we own a business, regardless if it's in the music industry or not, if we own a business, in order sometimes to win or be successful, when you come and have a group meeting and sit down everybody can't just be, sometimes you gotta say stuff that's gonna motivate people to do better. Sometimes you gotta point out maybe some flaws or some things it's called constructive criticism, to bring out the best product or be the best business that you can. A lot of times people nowadays get too caught up in being fans where they just agree with everything a person do, or not willing to give no constructive criticism at all, which it actually holds people back from being able to grow. So you think that maybe, if not, if he strategically do that, maybe he should. I hope with living in this era of people, you know what I'm saying? I hope living in this era of people with like ADHD and all that stuff. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm going with this, is what would be the best strategic move for Pusha T to be able to apply pressure on Drake with everything that come with dealing with Drake for him to win. Because I'm seeing tons of people like, oh, he got to drop today, he got to drop tomorrow, he got to do this, he got to do that. I would have been assuming that Pusha T, when he put out this album, would already have some shit lined up for the possibility that Drake may respond. But who knows? While I'm doing this live stream, you know what I mean, some shit might hit the pipelines, and you know, and a song may come out, or he may wait. I don't know, because my thing is, he got an album out, so if he got an album out, what would be the best strategic way to try to definitely keep this traffic going, raise more awareness of his album to the people that's Drake fans, but that's the casual Drake fans that's not just rocking with him because they on his dick, but possibly want to hear some new music and try to transfer some of his fans over to buy his music. You know what I mean? That's my whole thing. I'm like, he just got to figure out a way to make sure that his album don't get overshined by Drake and this beef, and that people still gonna go support that album and drive more traffic to it. Because him sending that invoice and all that stuff, like you sending the invoice a day after, you may be claiming 20,000 sales that was gonna come anyway. Now you say, nah, it's called Duppy. And excuse me for everybody yesterday, me saying Duppy. I'm not West Indian. I never even seen that word a day in my life, and I called it Duppy, but it's Duppy or wherever. And that probably may not be the right way of even saying it. But whatever the freestyle that he put out, I was reading someone comment, but I didn't understand what they said. But you say you can hit Drake with so many angles besides the ghostwriting shit. Yeah, like that gotta be in there, and he needs to word it from a point like you can't keep just hiding and dodging and reflecting, because every time the ghostwriting stuff come up, he reflects away from it. Because like someone said in the last live stream, someone brought up the fact that, oh, he was going at Kanye West too. But my thing is, going at Kanye never was the person that denied the fact of having writers. It's been open to the public. He's not, and he never tried to put himself as he always called himself like the most influential rapper. He never, putting him, it's like a total difference when you try to say I'm the top 5 lyricist or the best rapper alive and this and that, compared to Kanye, like I'm the most influential, and people know, it's been known for years that it was like he was using that, in my mind, he was using that as like, okay, why are you talking about me? Your boss doing the same thing, but Pusha T, quote unquote boss or big homie or whatever, never denied it. He never was trying to hide it. So I don't know how to take that as even a valid blow towards Pusha T in the situation. Then he jump out talking about holla at me when you become a multi-millionaire. I'm talking about we all, all should be, if you subscribe here, probably on the same page. We know it's niggas with money that's hoe ass niggas, and we know it's people that's broke, they got morals and principles that'll give you the shirt off their back, and it's people that's rich that'll stab you in the back. So when people automatically start coming off the back with the money, oh, I got more money than you, or wait till you get your bread up, this and that, as a diss, I don't even take that into account, because you can be rich and get whacked by someone broke, or vice versa. It really don't matter. Like the bar, it's like it's always a deflection, and that's one thing that Drake is good at, is the deflection, because he know his core fan base and the people he's speaking to. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, I seen some people yesterday and was talking about some people that just came home from prison, some people that's whatever you may consider real. I've seen so many different type of opinions coming from different people from the streets or whatever, and people just gave Drake his props on that song. You said, bro, I'm stating the fact Pusha threw the shot. Drake responded, so you want Pusha to wait until Drake album's release? Drake been sitting on most of them bars for 2 years. That's what someone else said something like that. They was like, Drake probably got bars for Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, like basically everybody he probably encountered, he got probably a song in the cut where if it ever getting to beef or fall out, he got some shit to go at him. So I mean, like, you down there waiting, like that's like I've come around a nigga. Even though you know you may have a mentality, you know, until you really get close to someone, you never know if they gonna turn on you or never gonna be your homie forever, this or that, whatever the case may be. But like, if I'm going ahead writing this, if I already write a song about you and they got all these personal bars, that means this is how you truly feel inside. Even while we're cool, this is how you feel inside towards me. Hi, I'm new. What up though? Appreciate that. You say Drake ain't the real one. He been waiting for Push to respond. Yeah, from the two birds with one stone. Pusha knows the rules. He has to respond. Yeah. He got to. Like, he got to, for real. Cause it's so crazy. Cause like when we was talking about the Nas and the Jay-Z situation, how long did Nas wait? Was it 3 months or 6 months? I know he right into his project came out, but if it was 3, but we was during that time we didn't have the ADHD syndrome going on where a 30-minute video is like 48 hours to some people nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like, waiting 2 days to people didn't forgot about so much stuff or moved on. It's just crazy how much, so much stuff have changed in 2018, where and all that to me, all that plays a part and impacts the business of how things work in the rap game, which have changed up some of the rules and how things are viewed in these battles. Okay, Pusha T may be a better lyricist, but Drake is a better song hit maker. I talking about if we talking number wise and stuff like that, who probably got more number ones and all this and that, that would be, I guess that would be considered a true statement. But I think that's why people are, you know, pointing out the fact of the ghostwriting and having a whole team collectively. To put it like this, I got 59,000 subscribers. Do you not know if I had a whole team working with me, I would be at 3, 4, 5, 600,000 subscribers. If you got two heads, always better than one. Pause. So if you got multiple people working on something, yeah, you're gonna be able to perfect something and make the best out of the lyrics, you know, everything. And not to say that Pusha T, of course, he's not making the beats and everything by himself, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird now dealing with that whole Kanye situation. You know what I mean? Before I can make a true assessment or a review on Pusha T album, I haven't had the opportunity to go listen to it either on my surrounds. I heard it in my headphones directly from my phone. I need to listen to it on my surround sound in my front room, and I also need to listen to it in my car. You know what I mean? And then I can be able to, because I didn't heard the lyrics, but now I need to go back, listen to the lyrics again, and actually hear the beat and everything with it to make a fair assessment of how I'm feeling the vibe of that particular album. Wayne didn't want to smoke with Pusha, and that's the thing. See, now, all right, that's true too. But my thing, I be wondering the reasoning, because I don't think all the decisions that Drake make are solely his decisions. I think sometimes, like, it's then like a round table meeting. If you aiming to be number one, or you want to dismantle the other entities that's in the game that's considered number one, or the other, you know what I mean, like the good music, the rock nations and stuff like that. So you probably only gonna respond to certain people. I bet if what's his face knew, if Drake knew that Eminem and Joe Budden wasn't on good terms, and it wasn't even a high probability of Eminem getting involved or anything like that, he may have. Or sometimes that's just your way of shitting on the nigga, period, is by not responding to him. Sometimes silence is just as powerful as going off on somebody by just ignoring them, because you making them seem like you're not even worth my time or response, because they, you know, people understand the game that I'm giving you relevance by speaking on your name. You know what I mean? So, which, of course, as a fan of quote-unquote hip-hop, I would have loved to seen if he would have responded instead of DMing Joe Budden and stuff, you know, instead of making him feel like, making him look thirsty, kind of, you know, not saying that he was, but didn't he DM him some stuff like, oh, if you can make 50 songs in this short amount of time, I'll whatever, because he already had threw out so many songs, like, but bar for bar. But, you know, when we talk about, when people bring up, you know, that Drake is a better hit maker and all that stuff, we talking about right now as a battle, and to win the battle, and maybe them rules have changed in 90, you know, maybe them rules has changed now, but he's a better hit maker. But shit, when you battling with somebody, you think he gonna try to come with that same formula, I'm gonna make a diss song that can play in the clubs and get spent, and you know, all in the strip club and all that stuff too. It's like, I don't see him being able to do that. That's why this particular diss song that Drake put out was totally different than the type of diss song, both of the back-to-back or the song that he put out first towards Meek. Because this is, Meek and him is two totally different people. He got to come at, what's his face? He got to come at Pusha T a totally different way. Joe Budden is never washed. If you think that, your opinion. I don't know who you talking to, because I never called him washed or anything like that. I said from Drake. I don't know. Maybe you're not even talking to me. I ain't gonna respond to that. I think people hear what they want, or they don't hear full sentences. Push gotta respond, but people acting like he only has one day. Talking about, that's true. I guess people just kind of timing it off the fact that because of Drake responded so quick, I guess they feel like he needs to respond to keep, I guess, to keep the energy the same, you know, to keep it, you know, I don't know. So I guess so people can't have excuses, because people, you know, you already know how these wave riders and everybody got a million excuses. If he wait 4 days and then drop a song that's like, that just super kill Drake, what's the first thing people gonna say? Oh, it took you 4 days though to make that song. It took you 4 days though. You hell yeah, you can come up with a better song. You waited for a week to put out that song. Drake only took 1 day. So, you know, it's kind of like to eliminate some of the excuses that you know how this internet is. And it's sad, you know, but this is the way people communicate, and how things get weighed out in hip hop nowadays is through the internet. Yeah, Pusha T, yep, and the song that you just referenced right there, King, is the song that I say that Pusha T needs to channel that inner exodus to and come back. That's what I want to hear, because I want Pusha T once again. You know, I can wrap this video up, but I want Pusha T to win. I don't want to, you know, I just don't want to see Pusha T, you know, go down on this internet meme, all this other bullshit that the internet comes with. I don't want to see none of that happen. I want him to step up to the plate lyrically, have a dope beat all across the board. I just want to see him do his thing up against Drake. I don't want Drake to feel like, and this ain't no disrespect to Canada as a whole and stuff like that. You know, hip hop started here. I don't want him to feel like he's just untouchable and he can just do whatever he want and just can't take no L dealing with some of our best lyricists from over here. You think so? But that's the thing. When did Exodus come out? Exodus came out when? How long ago? I gotta look it up to say 2013. So that's not too long ago. You know what I mean? That's not too long ago. If that song, and that's still, to me, you know, maybe to me that song still go hard. I'm just saying not make that same song over again, but he needs to channel that energy, whatever he was feeling inside, whatever was going on in his mind, whatever environment he had himself in that made him lay that track, and the feelings and emotion and energy that came off of that song. I'm saying he needs to re-put himself all in those elements again to get out that type of music, period. You know, I even wonder who even produced that beat for Exodus, you know, seriously. But I appreciate everybody, you know, tapping in, giving y'all opinion. It was just a few things that I wanted to clear up yesterday, because it was just a few little things that someone said. You know, this one person, I can't think of their name right now, but you know, asked me, am I taking Drake's side? And I'm like, you know, in no way am I taking Drake's side. I just because I'm not, just because I'm a fan and support Pusha T and listen to way more his music than Drake and all that stuff, I couldn't just call Drake song whack, you know what I mean? And some people just do that, you know what I mean? And to me, that's just being biased. As a platform, I couldn't do that. Now, if I just couldn't do that. I had to give him some respect for what he did, you know what I mean? Appreciated Trill City, appreciated Live Wavy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Appreciate that. Axeman, Pusha around Kanye and his fuckery too long. Let me ask y'all this before I wrap this up. What do y'all feel about the album cover? And I think that's what it was. Someone made a comment because I made a video breaking down the album cover of Pusha T and basically read the article and this and that. And basically all I said in that video, I just want to see how this video correlates with his music. Now I know, of course, his music is D-boy music, this and that. I just wanted to see what's he going to have, like, direct references to that Whitney and this and that, you know, to make it all, even though it makes sense already, but just to make it more make sense. But in that video, I see a ton of people in the comments like, Pusha T Daytona cover. A ton of people saying that, like, bro, that was disrespectful. People don't have no respect for our legends no more. You know, to waste $85K to license it out. And, you know, some people's response was, well, you know, the family had to approve it, so who cares, but this and that. But I just wanted y'all opinion of just, but that was her bathroom, like, what, within 24, 48 hours or right before she passed away and stuff like that. I understand the point, you know, and I know art is subjective to create dialogue and conversation. So, and however people maybe interpret it themselves. And that's what I kind of said in that video. I'm like, you know, this picture just represents a horrific time within our community, especially reading some of them articles, going back reading some of them articles of her supposed to have lost her voice from smoking crack out of crack pipe and all this, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that just represents a horrible time during our community when crack was like something super heavy in our community. You know, yes, it is a few lingering crackheads still around this, you know, still around like that, but you don't hear about it like how you used to hear about it in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. But it's still around, but it, you know, it just represents something crazy. I think people just were kind of offended by it, and not only people, I think people were offended by it, but because it was Kanye call and Pusha T agreed with it, people were upset with it. Yeah, using the Whitney Houston bathroom pic was a bad taste. That wasn't her. Damn, that comment went by too fast. I didn't see all of it. I don't know if I read that last part right about that wasn't her bathroom. Because I went and dug up the article. I went and got the article where she, you know, she sat down with some company either right before or right after she did her interview, the first time she ever admitted on camera, like with Oprah Winfrey, admitting that she was, you know, on crack. And Bobby Brown had admitted the first time that he ever even seen her do coke or crack or whatever was on their wedding day. Prior to that, he didn't know that she was on that. You know what I mean? So, but that was her bathroom. It was her bathroom. Like, just Google it for real. It was in her house. That was her bathroom. Unfortunately, You know, but it's crazy, you know, out there, and I can only imagine living out there in Hollywood, or being, saying, for instance, being from LA. You got all the millionaires, and not to glorify the game or the streets of selling and all that, but I'm just saying, like, kind of being different. You being from Detroit, you know what I mean? You go get you a bag, you get some, you know, you got your work or whatever. You got to go out OT to make some money. For real. So you could try to find a small town that ain't really got access to it and double up on the price and do what you do. You know what I mean? But I don't even imagine like you living in LA, even though they say, especially in the weed game, that 70 to 80% of the money made in the marijuana industry in California is made across state lines. But I can only imagine living in the surrounding LA area and everybody and their mama down there on coke, but these people on coke are like, I'm just throwing out names, not saying it, but the Robert De Niro's, just actors that's making millions and millions of dollars, like them the best custos you can have. Period. Like, you only need to make that one sale a month. They might just buy, you know, just be buying a couple, whatever, just for the parties that they gonna have. Like, and as long as they feel safe with you, that you ain't gonna rob them, they probably gonna be a continuous customer and constantly tell their friends about you, so they don't have to feel like you gonna get set up. You know what I mean? You could just sit back and don't even have to really be in the streets. You can wear, you know, you could just have on a damn button-up shirt, some glasses, be clean cut, and be motherfucking Madonna Dilla or something. But facts. Appreciate that. You say you're super enjoy listening to you. I appreciate all y'all. That's the only reason why I just like having conversation on certain subjects with, you know, with this, because I feel like all the stuff that go on in the entertainment world even trickle down where it's relatable to the average individual like myself and what we go through in real life or be a part of or seeing people go through, so people can learn from all this stuff. People can learn from the Whitney Houston situation. That's a very tragic story to see, especially to double back, and her daughter Danner died in the bathtub too. So my thing is, when they was in them bathtubs, was it they was placed in those bathtubs, or were they in them bathtubs trying to cool down because they were ODing? Like, how did her and her daughter Danner die identical the same way? That's tragic. You know what I mean? That's very tragic. Especially, and then, you know, and it was crazy because everybody was on Bobby Brown's head. Everybody was on Bobby Brown's head. I'm surprised. I'm glad he haven't, but I'm surprised like he didn't OD going through them times. You got the whole media, the whole world looking at you a certain way because people love Whitney Houston so much, and she passed away from this, and everybody felt like Bobby Brown was the one that introduced her to it. Now, if he's telling the truth by him saying the first time he ever seen her do it was on their wedding day, that mean that they was already doing it. Mean that Whitney Houston was already doing it, which during that time it wasn't really looked at as bad. It was the quote-unquote rich people drug. So that's crazy. They both died alike. Her daughter was on drugs too. Yeah, I was talking about her old boy that, you know, was, I hit it first, that used to pipe down Kim K. Trying not to say his name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I heard that he was supposed to be the little runner for Whitney Houston. Supposed to have been hitting her off, allegedly, past 7 years ago. You feel me? Like, that's the crazy part, you know, because people look at old boy like, oh, he just the emotional person that be on Love and Hip Hop and all them other shows and all that stuff, but you never know what really people be doing behind the scenes, because they thought it was a rich people drug. Yeah, yo, it's crazy. Damn, Peanut. Damn, you done gave me the hiccups. But yeah, do you think Aaliyah was murdered or just a tragic plane crash? I don't know, man. Because was it her or Left Eye was in the situation where they said it was too many bags on the plane, like the plane was too heavy and it crashed? I gotta see which one. If that was her situation, I'm talking about they just, if that was her situations where, I can't remember if it was her or Left Eye, but one of them, but if that was her situation where it was said her plane was too packed with other stuff, like, that's just upon the pilot to know that you gotta leave some stuff here. I don't care how much you bitch and how much you complain, how much money you got, if you a diva, this and that, you putting all of our lives in danger by trying to carry this much, you know, stuff. It could have purposely happened. I don't know, cause that with I definitely believe that it's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 families or for entities that's really controlling the world, that's connected to the banks and all this stuff, where it may trickle down or have connections to whatever this word is we call the Illuminati and all this stuff. And I do understand and do believe in some of that stuff. Some of it be far-fetched, and then some of it, I hate the fact that every time we have a successful black person in our community, once they get successful, now all of a sudden they in the Illuminati. That to me, because that makes me think, okay, so if 7 years from now I end up selling $20 million worth of merch, have a website pumping in $3-4 million, I land some movie gigs, it's gonna be the same people that used to be supporting me gonna be like, damn, Doc in the Illuminati now, just because I got successful or made a way out of it. So I don't really know if she got killed or not, because the way they be trying to make it seem like once one person passed away or one person died, that another group of people benefit and get, you know, really benefit from it and become wealthy. So I don't know, because I got to look at who would have benefited. The only person out of that situation, I'm not gonna say the only person, but Jay-Z benefited up out of that situation. Look at what R. Kelly going through right now. During that time, look at everything that Dame Dash went through. Like, Dame Dash name was getting trashed for a decade damn near, you know what I mean? And then come to find out, a lot of the stuff that he was standing for and his principles that he was standing on, he really was the good person. It's just the way he communicated it. So all the entertainment is involved in Satanism. It's 1000% a fact. They all worship the devil. See, that's I can't agree or disagree with that, because I don't personally know these people to be able to say that it's 1000% fact that all of them worship the devil. You know what I mean? I can't agree or disagree with that, because that just like saying if someone that made it from your hood, someone that's from your neighborhood, filled out, you know, went and did a whatever they call it, rehearsed and got a gig and a role in a movie, and then they become successful, that now all of a sudden this person worships the devil. So that all that means to me, especially, it seemed like I don't know, I was having a conversation with somebody, and I'm gonna wrap this video up after this, but I was having this conversation with someone the other day. It was on Instagram, and I seen a couple people make comments. One person that said, don't listen to the advice of a person if they broke. You know, at one point in time, I only used to hear women kind of make them type of comments, but I heard one person said that. Then I seen someone else make a comment like, don't listen to a person, don't take no advice from a person that don't practice what they preach. So I didn't respond to one of the person, because I don't really know him like that, and I communicated with the other guy a couple times, so I left him a comment just basically voicing my opinion on it, not checking them, not anything, just giving my opinion on, because I see these type of comments all the time. They sound real clever and real good. I just like to apply things to real life to see how it affects us as a whole. And I basically have said to the person, I'm like, this is the reason why I feel like in the black community we will never have any black leaders again, because anytime we have a strong black leader or a successful black person, we are the community that find every reason to discredit them, either by saying they worship the devil, or find any flaw in them just not to listen to them, or have, you know, or anything. It's like any person, think about if we had Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in 2018, and they still live their same lives. They've been to jail. Malcolm X, even though he changed his life, people would be so worried about the Detroit Red version of Malcolm X, they wouldn't listen to anything positive that he saying or what he trying to inflict on the people. And that, it seemed like we are the people that find every reason to discredit our own people when they get successful, or if they got something positive to say. So it's then they're like, you got to find a different way to get the gems and the message across. And I think that's where Pac was trying to be of the people, putting on a, you know, even not saying that he wasn't, but the putting the medicine in the candy type situation. Because maybe he's seen it way back then that you just couldn't come across a certain type of way. But it seemed like from every angle we always trying to find a reason to discredit our own people. And it'd be like, just because they got money. And a lot of times, because I did get the opportunity to take a couple psychology courses, it be like I look at it sometimes like people just reflect their misery onto other people when they see other people wealthy, successful, or happy. And I'm not talking about one individual or just in general. When I see it in my day-to-day life, you see someone ride up the street and they got a clean car, and the very first thing come out of a person's mouth is something negative. I damn near got to put you in the category of a hater if the very first thing that come out of a person's mouth is something negative towards someone that's doing something good with their life. Now, we have the 100% facts about an individual knowing that they worship the devil or this and that. Because I know some people I used to go to high school with that's atheists. They just don't believe in anything. I know some people that's full-blood Christians. I know some people that's Muslim. You know, I even knew some people from back in the day, you know, that did used to play around with the what you call that Satanism stuff. You know, I don't judge anybody. I have the choice, and I have the, you know, ability to pick and choose who I want to be around and who I choose to deal with and don't deal with. Like, I can't judge them on their life as long as whatever that person or people is preaching and whatever they're doing, as long as it's working for you. If you preaching against what everybody else doing in this world, I better see when I look at your life that your life is perfect and everything is going good for you. Because if not, I gotta put you in a category of slightly being a hater or angry towards other people. You know, self-hate within our community is so tough. I'm talking about it's tragic. It's tragic. It's actually a disease that people need to get checks for. It's a disease. People don't even know that they are inflicted or affected by the Willie Lynch letter, even though they still may be preaching or presenting themselves like they're of the community. But the self-hate is just too bad. It's too crazy. And some people don't see it. That's why I feel like you should never get your information from one place. I feel like you should never get your information from one place, because if you getting your information just from one place, you limiting yourself. They say one of the best forms of education is traveling. So that gives you the opportunity to get up out of your environment, see different things, see different people. See, you know, it's a lot of different things. People that's trapped into their one area, getting their information and their knowledge from one stream of type of people, you can be getting manipulated from that. You know, people got to get information from all over the place. Like, say for instance, if I was super religious or super spiritual, I would read the Bible, I would read the Quran, I would read everything, and I would take whatever I can out of those pieces of information, and whatever's going to benefit me, apply it to my life to better myself. You know, I just feel like, and we living in the world right now in our community, and it's been going on for so long, we find any and every reason not to listen or take good information. And I feel like the common denominator at the end of the day is good information is good information, bad information is bad information. It's up to the person how they interpret it. Because you can get $1 million worth of gain from a crackhead, and you can get the worst information in the world from a millionaire that's trying to use you, or you just never know. It's about the character of the person, not what's being presented to you. And too many men nowadays, to me, I feel like too many men nowadays are caught up in materialistic shit. And this ain't no diss towards women. And to me, I'm starting to feel like for a while the roles have been reversed, and too many men are caught up in the materialistic shit, you know, of where they're gonna get their information from. That nigga ain't got on no products, he ain't got on no Gucci. What I ain't about to listen to him. Like, nigga, you damn near sound gay. You know what I mean? Like, good information is good information. It don't matter who mouth it coming out of. If it can apply to your life and make your life better, listen to it. But if it don't listen to it. But don't only just get your information just from rich people. And not to say that you shouldn't listen to them, because you can meet some rich people that may mean you some good, which you have a lot of people that's rich, and that's the problem. People, at one point in time, it used to be a problem, and it's probably still going, where people don't like to share information. People will have some game that can help you change your life, and they'll be looking dead at you and see they got the answer to your problem, and they won't even give it to you. That's some bullshit, some hate. Now people may have the information, and now people finding every reason not to take the information. Glass half empty, glass full, yeah. Most people are half empty because the United States teaches you that. For example, if you hear a person, how many millionaires do you see posting telling you to contact them so they can show you how to be rich in a few days? They are phone. Yeah, the only ones that's posting that type of stuff like, oh, I got the key to you getting rich, it's that little bitty package they selling you for $24 or $49.99. That's what's actually making them become that millionaire. In the transition of trying to teach you to become a millionaire, that money is what's making them a millionaire, you know. But that's why I feel like, especially because it ain't no way in this world that you can just box yourself in. That just like, this is a kind of foreign, crazy example, but just say, for instance, like when people are in relationships, you in a relationship with your girl, and some people be in relationships with girls where they girl don't want them to have no female associates or friends or nothing, period. My girl ain't like that, one, but I have dated women that was like that. There's no way to live a full life where you gonna box yourself in from just a whole nother gender. You're not gonna talk to this gender, you're not gonna interact with that gender, you're gonna close your ears to that gender. There's no way. So if you can't even do that in a relationship, what make you think you're gonna be able to live life and just totally box yourself off from every other religion or race and this and that? The problem is, all this conversation about religion and race, it used to be taboo and people kept it to themselves, their personal beliefs to themselves, and only discussed it amongst them, their loved ones and their friends. Now it's so much on Front Street, it's putting everybody in boxes. And putting everybody in boxes is basically going right back to where we was at 400 years ago, everybody being right back in segregation. Now they don't even have to segregate us, we doing it mentally ourselves. Yeah, I'm talking about you. When you say you need material things to survive, when I use an example, you don't need Gucci shoes to survive. I'm talking about, and what I'm saying, like, I go show you my closet, I got all type of crazy shit. I'm just saying that stuff is not important. As a man, you shouldn't be judging the information that you get from a person off the material shit that they have. Good information is good information. Bad information is bad information. That's all I'm saying, point blank, period. Don't misconstrue it or make it more difficult than what I'm saying. Because you know, a Gucci scarf or a Louis Vuitton scarf does not equate to if you're gonna have a good or bad life, or if it's gonna save your life, or if it's gonna put food on your table, or help your kids have diapers. Don't no men, and I don't know if you a male or female, the person that just said this, and what I'm about to say is not directed towards you. This just made me think of this. I have to also keep in mind that at the age that I'm at right now, that I gotta remember there's a large group of men, due to the stuff that got, the laws that got passed and high incarceration rates, whatever they put in these vaccinations and all this stuff that's making, and I don't have nothing against gay people, but gay people that's stopping the reproduction and all this other stuff, I gotta remember there's a big gap, 10, 15, 20 year gap of people that was raised without a father figure or a man in their life to learn how to, as men, to look at the world through the eyes of a man. Not saying that a woman can't raise a man or raise a strong man. A man still needs a father in his life, or a male, strong male figure. Just like a little girl, she's growing up, she needs a strong woman figure or her mother in her life. Them are the first people that you learn from your gender from. And a lot of guys are learning all their information directly through the eyes of a woman. And not, because of course it's gonna be little things I'm gonna teach my daughter that's, you know, for a girl to look at and all that stuff. But men don't supposed to see certain things like that. You know, that's when it become kind of groupie-ish and all that stuff. You can have a man that's standing over there in a American Apparel outfit, and he got $10 million worth of game from you, for you, and you got a person that's in a hole, spent all their money on that last Gucci outfit. You got men that's gonna go ride that nigga dick that's on the Gucci, they got on the Gucci outfit just because he looked fresher than the other one, but the other one got all the information from you. As men, we can't keep judging shit off of materialistic stuff. Good information is good information. Bad information is bad information. Yeah, I don't consider a car and a house materialistic stuff. That's shit that you need. We not in you. I don't know what you talking about. Anybody that got half of common sense understand what I'm talking about. A car and a house, these are necessities. That's not material. That's called necessities, brother. That's two totally different things, material and necessities. Two totally different things. We can move on. Just like the Joker needs to make people laugh to feel alive, some people really do enjoy being super nice. They are not always faking it. I don't know if you responded to me or somebody else, but because I'm kind of lost on the context of what you're saying right now, you know, in correlation to what I'm saying. What about Bill Cosby? How do you feel about that? If everything that it's twofold. It's twofold. I have to always start with the disclaimer of anybody that was taken advantage of or raped or been a victim. You know, if someone took something from you, regardless if they took $1 out your pocket or took you physically, no one deserves that. Now since we got that out the way, we just gonna talk about during them times during the 60s and 70s. Everybody was fucking with coke and everybody was fucking with Quaaludes. I'm gonna tell you from the perspective, and I'm gonna keep it real with you as a father. I'm telling my daughter going 100% no. You just meeting a dude is no reason for you to go meet this nigga at no goddamn hotel. You meeting a man at a hotel, this is what's on his mind. And these women are not airheads. Some are, some not. My thing is, don't go meet no man at no hotel. Don't be going to no man's house at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh, to be just about to go have some tea and laugh and joke and play fucking Monopoly. This is how men think, period. Not all, but this is how most men think. If he's inviting you to a hotel or to his home at certain hours, more than likely this is what's on his mind. So you have to make the choice not to go, because you have to protect yourself. I know if I'm in certain areas of Detroit, I'm not about to have on some Cartier glasses that got diamonds in them bitches with doing a butterfly with the money hanging out my pockets with a $2,000 outfit on, or you gonna get robbed. Sometimes you have to make conscious decisions yourself to keep yourself out of situations. Once again, going back to the disclaimer, it's not right to rape or anything. You know what I mean? But it's so vague to me, because I have to look at everything that's going on, not just with Bill Cosby. You got over 40 something men in a 6-month period of time that's all getting accused of the same shit. It seemed like this is purposely being done, like Eddie Griffin said, to put an asterisk next to the people that's in the community that people can look up to as role models or iconic, or hey, yeah, okay, just like what they said, even though people feel like Obama really didn't do a lot or enough for the black community, people feel like just him being president is a good enough to be able to give people the motivation to say that you can do it. So keep that without that example in mind. So okay, you got that. Okay, you take Bill Cosby and you take other 30, 40 other black men that's been successful in Hollywood, making a lot of money, had a positive show on TV, one of the only positive, fully from top to bottom positive shows on TV, donating tens of 20s, 30s, millions of dollars to colleges. If you can put this type of asterisk next to their name and disgrace their whole legacy, now no one to look up to them. Now, you know, sometimes just having someone to look up to gives you the inspiration, because you can see that they made it. But if you put this dirt on everybody's name, now you definitely don't have no leaders or no one to look up to. You're gonna feel lost. They know how strong TV programming is, period. So that's why I feel like they're definitely attacking Hollywood like that. But I will say, as a woman, if you want to protect yourself, if it's a woman listening to this, unless you down to fuck, or you thinking about it, or possibly and stuff like that, don't be going to no man hotel 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't be going, don't go to the liquor store, buy drinks with him, go to the hotel, get drunk, and go to the, not saying that it's right for him to take anything from you. I'm just saying that you have to use your brain too. You can't operate this world purely off of emotions. You got to be strategic and think too. And that's why it's so important for young girls, young women to grow up having their fathers in their life so they can get the game from men. So when they get out here into this world, they don't put themselves in them type of situations. You say, whenever we'll have a black leader, they all wanted Cosby money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, and it seemed like, was they even sending him to court on like civil cases where it was price tags attached to it, or were they trying to get him locked up, or feeling like maybe he was just going to break them off some money to keep them silent and they was gonna move on? I don't know. I really don't know. And you gotta think, they bringing up stuff from 30, 40 years ago. If he gonna remember if it really happened or not. I'm talking about the thing is so crazy because, one, of course I wasn't there to be able to say yes, this 100% happening, no, this ain't, but it's happening to so many different people all at once. It's starting to seem, for anybody that really know that the media and TV is really programming. They purposely play certain things on. You've seen the little bit that they play. I think you should have seen this little clip that they did. They showed almost 10, 20 different news stations in different states. They show all the news anchors reading the same exact script. They getting all this stuff is programming. You know what I mean? And it's a purpose, it's a reason why all this stuff is happening. That's why it's damn near good just to find you one girl that's down for you, got your back, that's gonna make you better. Stick with her and ride it out. I understand as a man, people got to get that part of them out of them. You know what I mean? When they maybe, hopefully you get it out of you in high school to be able to go ahead and get you some, run through a few chicks, have your fun, get that part of yourself so you can feel like you need to poke your chest out. But if you get into your mid 20s and 30s and you still running around with that mindset and all that stuff, that's when that type of stuff will end up coming back biting you in your ass. You got to get that stage out of you early in life. Tupac got shot and sent to jail behind a woman lying on him. Hey, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's been wars documented overseas that started behind women. And that's why, as a woman, when I get the opportunity to speak to women and have conversation, they got to understand the power that they possess that come from between their legs, and be able to use it in a positive way just as much as some of the people are using it in a negative way. Like, you got Amber Rose running around parading with this whole movement and allegedly fuck 21 Savage friend. Like, come on, man. That's off the subject, but it's just like, come on. The only reason why you parading around, Amber Rose, pushing this movement, because you want to have that excuse to be able to get bust down and not look at a certain way. Just like a real woman don't want to be with a man that then slept with the whole neighborhood. A real man don't want to be with a woman that slept with the whole neighborhood, period. That's just how it is. Society is a society. Not saying that women are greater than or less than, or it shouldn't be. That's just how it is when you're talking about real people. But this whole movement that Amber Rose is behind, to me, is just on false pretenses. It's better things that she could be advocating. She just don't like the fact that she gets called and looked at a certain way. Because my thing is, it's other women that's dating. You don't hear this about, like, I ain't gonna say Gabrielle Union, but I can't think of Tahaji P. Henson and different girls that have probably dated French Montana and different people that's been in Hollywood that haven't been married. You don't be hearing these calling them hoes and sluts. You don't hear that. Why are they calling Amber Roses? Apparently it must be something that you're doing that's getting you this label. It must be some way you representing yourself that's getting this label. If I walk out the house right now and I got on a fireman outfit, people gonna look at me like I'm a fucking fireman. You say at Doc Hicks TV as a woman, question mark, question mark. But yeah, but the whole conversation, it didn't got to an hour and 15 minutes and we got to talking about a whole bunch of different things. You know, I appreciate y'all. But what do you call it? It's called, correct me if I'm wrong, it's called Duppy time, right? The Duppy Freestyle. That's where we started off at, talking about that conversation. We got to talking about Bill Cosby, just problems within the community. That's just me. I don't mind if I sat down, or the times that I have, or I do go like back to my old school or things like that and talk to the kids and stuff like that, because I keep a relationship with some of the teachers that I was cool with, and when I'm around they have me come up there and talk to them. I don't kick it to them from no script. I know exactly where and what type of life, what type of rocks this world gonna throw at you. So I gotta give you the game from that angle. I'm not giving you the game to make you upset and put more energy and hate into this world. I'm giving you game on how to better yourself and love the people that's around you, and to come together, because it's power in numbers. But also to watch some situations. It's a lot, man. I ain't trying to be. It's just too many fake woke people out here in this world, because it's a trend right now. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Donald Trump after all these. Let him get away with. I think what they say, he got down there 16, 17 allegations of women, and he's still the president. But they didn't want what's her face, even though I wasn't too much rocking with Hillary Clinton either. Only reason why with Hillary Clinton, she was the only person that I really was hearing talking about prison reform, and that's important to me, because a lot of people I know in and out of prison and stuff like that, and I feel like it needs to be some form of a second chance when people come home. If you were felon and after so long you change your life around, to really get a second chance at life, because there's really no second chance at life when you got felonies on your record. Not to say that some people still haven't found a niche or a way, maybe through resources of people they know that got something going on, but it make it, I understand you make a mistake, it shouldn't haunt you for the rest of your life, where you can't even if you get your money right, it's hard for you to find a decent place to stay, because people don't want to let felons stay in. If you can't even get a decent job, what you think this felon gonna do? He gonna go right back to what he was doing to get money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's why I call it the revolving door. And this is, you know, so rap then turned into WWE. Yeah. But it's crazy, man. I appreciate everybody. Peanut, Foot Bear, Rob Will, Reg Brown. Yes. Duppy is Jamaican for ghost, or relentless spirit. Well, no. Yeah, Duppy. I think yesterday I said Doopy. Like, I ain't never heard of Doopy or Duppy, none of that stuff before. I never heard no one say that word. I never even seen it. So when I looked at it and read it, I was like, Doopy. You know what I mean? And I had people like, oh my God, I can't believe, how would you ever mispronounce this word? When I asked them, like, where you from? Oh, I'm from Jamaica. Like, how the fuck I supposed to know? I'm in America, in Detroit. You think I don't know how to say no Jamaican word the way you said? You think you gonna say every word in America the same way we gonna say it? People be saying some of the craziest shit. You know, I know it can't sound ignorant sometimes to mispronounce certain things, but then people got to keep in context and keep in mind that people not from where you from may not know how to pronounce certain words from over there. Everybody, please boycott Lil Tay and Woe Vicky. They been boycott to me means that eventually that people gonna go back and mess with them. They just need to ban them. It's no reason to deal with Little Vicky, Woe Vicky, or Lil Tay. They don't add anything to society, period. They don't add anything to society, period. They eating off of a culture. That's the pure definitions of culture vultures. You got a little girl getting coached by her brother and her mother, specifically telling her, oh no, you need to be more ignorant. So basically you saying you need to be more ignorant because this is how you're going to relate to the audience you're trying to target market. And she's trying to target market to the urban community. So basically you calling the urban community ignorant. She does not add anything. She don't have no talent. Like, and whoa, Vicky, what is she doing? What I'm saying, the only reason why people even start noticing her is because of her accent. I don't know if she's from down south or whatever the case may be, but her accent and all that. So people used to get on her about saying she sound black, and she just manipulated it into a way to gain a lot of traction on Instagram. And I don't know, you know, I'm assuming she must be getting some type of money from it somehow, some way, because of having that large following. But like, they don't add nothing to the community. We have the power to not follow behind them, period. Especially if you're an adult, you just don't follow behind it. And if you got little kids or teenagers around you, just give them the game and they won't deal with it. But I don't even follow behind that stuff. But I hear this. But you was talking about writing lyrics earlier. Hell, they write every damn thing. My phone. Yeah, hook me up on something. Who the hell is Lil? Man, bro, it ain't even worth really even saying who they are. I ain't gonna say as human beings they're nothing. Everybody is somebody, but as far as the reason why their name is being circulated, they're nobody. Just some little kids. One is a little bit older than another one. You got one that's 9 years old, a little Asian girl that's 9 years old. She got quote unquote internet famous for running around holding like kind of little stacks of money, talking about, oh, I got Porsches, I got this, I just made this $1 million deal, y'all broke, this and that. So her doing that, people were, I guess, was intrigued by her being so young and running around acting like that, and people just start following behind her, you know. And now I don't know how many followers she got. It's just a part of that world of importance to the internet and little ignorant stuff like that. Like when you had the dude with all the tattoos on his face, Boot Gang, running around getting famous for stealing and all that stuff. It's just another group of some people just like that. Yeah, you ain't missing nothing, bro, for real. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in on this. I had to do this video again. I did a 30-minute one before I uploaded this video, and no one told me that they couldn't hear me talking. I was sitting up there talking for 30 minutes to myself, and I was reading the comments, and it seemed like the comments was going with what I was saying, and no one said nothing. So I had to double back and do this one again. But I appreciate everybody, man, for tapping in with me.